Good morning. Hi, welcome back to the channel. As you know, hopefully, we've been building this garage workshop that I'm standing in now for the past year. Feels a lot longer, I must say. But we also built a small concrete structure as part of the foundations just behind the garage. And we've been parking our tractor, our digger. Basically, it's just become a bit of a dumping ground for crap. With the weather, as you can hear, I don't know whether you can hear it on camera, it is absolutely pouring it down. So we decided to bring the machines in. We've taken our tractor back to our sort of polytunnel area where Julie is now. And yeah, it's a bit crowded in here. So we didn't want to overwhelm the planning process when we put in for planning permission for this garage with an extra structure at the back. So we just left it as sort of a parking area. But now it's come to the point where we really do need it. We need to get these machines out of this area because I can't work. I've got lumber, timber down here that I need to pick up, get cut. And we have to move all of these outside just to be able to move around in here. So the plan is to build a wooden structure and side it behind the garage in keeping with what we've got now. So we'll be using the same materials. Some of them are leftover material from the roofing and things for this garage. So we'll try and use all of those. So first things first, basically I've got to build the wooden upright structure that's going to go around, and then the rafters on top, and then use the roofing, the steel metal roofing and metal siding. Ultimately, I will be putting on some doors as well, but we're running out of time before our work season starts. So I've just got to get this one finished.
Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of our shipping container home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs. Hi there. While Ian's up at the off-grid plot making a start on the garage annex project, I'm going to spend today here working in the field with the polytunnel, getting everything a bit tidier. I'm just going to go and check why I think my water hasn't come on this morning. So this explains a lot. My charge controller's actually reading nothing. I have 0 charge. So it doesn't look like that's compatible with this new lithium battery that we installed. So this teeny tiny charge controller, which served us well with our smaller battery, just isn't compatible with this big one. And thanks everybody for the comments regarding what type of charge controller we should be installing here. Now I know Ian reads them all and he's taken it all on board, and he has ordered a new charge controller, which was a suggestion from one of you guys, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for it to arrive in the post, so yeah. Meantime, it's the good old watering can, watering everything by hand. So while Ian's up at the off-grid plot working on the Annex project, I'm going to spend the day here next to the polytunnel, de-weeding my beds and hopefully reclaiming them so that this week they'll be all prepared and I can start planting. I'm going to concentrate as best as I can on this one side and just look after this one side and the polytunnel. And for those of you that are quite new to the channel and haven't seen what we've been doing here with the polytunnel and the veggie garden, it's all no dig. I've brought in so much biocompost to get this started, and it's quite ironic that I've got my fork having to dig out all the weeds, but that's because I neglected it. I just didn't have the time. But the advantage is they just pull out like a cartoon rabbit pulling carrots. So hopefully this isn't such an arduous job, and I get this sorted and you'll see the results at the end. But the compost, it's lovely. It's still good compost. And all these weeds, I'm making a new compost pile so that can all degrade and it'll all come back in next year. That's not taken too long, halfway through.
Well, I could get used to this. In the workshop, doing carpentry, and it's nice and quiet. So the plan is to build using basically these fence posts. These are 90 by 90 fence posts. Cheapest way to actually buy fully treated timber, lumber here in France. So I bought four 1.8, 6 foot long fence posts, and these are going to be my main uprights for the structure. Now I've got to cut 7 of these upright posts. I've got to do a half lap joint here, a cutout, and this will be my ridge beam. It's a shed roof, so I'm going to have that at the end like this, and then the roof will come down, the rafters will come down and sit on this. So there'll be a couple of you can see it in the drawing what I mean. It's hard to explain. So I've got to get on today while it's pouring down with rain to cut these out, get them all pretty square and flush. I'm going to leave them slightly overcut so I can make those adjustments when I'm actually putting them on the wall. Because these will be sitting in some metal brackets which will then be chemically cemented into the wall. This one here. Swap them over. 45. Flip this little latch there, make sure it's on. Let's have a look. There. Make sure that latch is back in. Okay. That wasn't too bad. 7 posts. How many got? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 posts. Well, I've got 8 because I had half left over, so that's good. I've got one spare just in case. But they're all the posts I had, the 9x9s, and then I had a little chunk, which was a cut off. Right, that part's done. I'm going to go outside, see if it's bright enough to see whether I can drill some holes. I will need my airline out the back very soon, and I am so fed up of using extension leads all around the garage. So I finally just run in some 3-core cable or single core live, neutral and earth all the way from my main distribution box there. And I'm just going to feed my miter saw and the compressor here. Probably build a little shelf here for the compressor to sit on, so everything's up out of the way and then the generator can slide underneath. But it's one of those things you just keep putting off, and it's raining. Well, it's sunny at the moment, but it just keeps pouring down. So before I go out there to drill those holes, I'm just going to get this done. Put these very simple sockets in for now. Well, they'll probably stay there forever now, but I quite like this system. They're a bit more expensive, these Legrand ones, but they're worth it, just from the simplicity. So I basically strip back a bit of about 1 centimetre, 10 mil, and then basically there's a hole, a red, green and blue painted on. You just push them in and they're self-locking. And there's 2 in there, so you can daisy chain these off, and that's what I've been doing. I've got a couple of sockets on it, and this will feed the like the compressor, the miter saw, things like that. So I'm going to just slot him in, not too tight. I'm probably going over the top with this little shelf, but behind this OSB is the concrete block. So I'm just going to put some 2 bolts in, chemically cement those in, and then just bolt this piece on, because there's no real fixing other than through the concrete. A smidgen off. That'll be fine there. Might be a noise. Oh no, not yet. There's a button. There. And then this, I can just put around to there. Huh. Pretty neat job.
So that's the weeding done. My beds now just need to be reformed because my wood chips, which I use for the walkways, have degraded. So the next part of this project is I just need to go to the local authority where we collect all our bio-compost and the wood chips. So I'm going to reform the 3 beds with 2 walkways, And to do that, I lined them with cardboard and then I put the wood chips on top, and that helps to suppress any weeds that want to try and come through. So it's time to get the trailer and go and find some wood chips.
Wow, it's turned out really nice now. Bit wet, but I'm going to just try it on this. It's washed out my pencil marks a little bit. So I'm going to use these sort of clamps drilled into the wall, and then I'll chemically seal these with that chemical cement, and then my posts will sit into those. So they will basically secure it to the top of this wall like that. Well, the other side. So that'll be a good fixing, and then after that I'll basically form my timber walls. All right, just blow this out. There we go. All right, let's see how that will go. That'll sit outside there, flush with the wall. Oh, that's perfect. That's going to be nice. I've left it just inside this wall here. I might put some furring strip on there, depending on how I clad it around here. But I've got bolts to go in here, and now I don't want them to be proud of this wall here. Ultimately, these machines won't be living in this section here. We're going to make a tractor shed just in the far corner of the land, just over there. And then this will free up basically for some freezers, a sink, things like that, for maybe processing animals and things in the future. So that's the plan. I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be back first thing tomorrow, carry on with these, and yeah, I should be able to get the base all the way down, all the way round, and maybe fit this ridge bar. And then it's on to cutting out a slither just here. So I've marked it with pencil from there down to there. I've got to draw a line all the way across 5 meters and cut out these sections of the siding, this Douglas fir plank. I could unscrew it all and cut it, but I'm afraid when you take these screws out, it actually splits and pulls the wood apart. So I'm going to give it a go and use my rotary saw and basically cut a line all along there, and then I'll be able to put my barge board in here, my ledger board, but that's going to be bolted all the way through the studs into the OSB the other side, and then I'm going to put a big washer and hold it all together, clamp it all together. So we'll see you in the morning. There's all our roofing and our siding, the bardage just there. We got all that from the metal place, our fabricator that supplied the garage, so it all matches. And the reason we've got this here, this is 40mm insulated roofing. I had 2 pieces left over from the garage, so I may as well pay a little bit extra for the insulated roofing so I don't have to throw away what I've got. And this section here is totally pointing south, so it's in the sun for a long part of the day. So having a bit of insulation above can't do any harm, especially when we have the freezers and things in here. Okay, I've got all of the uprights in now. Well, these brackets for the uprights. So I'm going to put down the damp proof course now, and I'm just going to put a bit of black squidge underneath to keep it down in the first instance, but also just as another glue basically. I'm going to take these out.
We're like yo-yos today. We've been up and down, up and down. We've just come back. We've been back home for some supper, tea. And we've been waiting for the sun to go down enough to be able to see the green line of Ian's laser. So it's later in the evening and we're back. And Ian's just making a mark.
This is the cut line for my leisure plate. So I've got to do two. I've got to do another one down here, and the ledger board will sit here, then the roof, and then the
Flashing.
the flashing.
Oh, it's nice to not be in the sun. It's been so hot up here today. I have offered to go down and put him across.
Good morning, back outside. Sun is quite bright. So I've just done my test cut. This is the one here. I've got to take this section out all the way where I marked it last night, and that will allow my leisure plate, my roof and my flashing, and a bit of a gap just below here. So if any water does, it's not going to, when it does drip, it doesn't sit on the flashing underneath the wood here. So we'll just put a bit of protection under this wood. And I've left about 10 millimeters below just for a bit of wiggle room here. I'm taking that one completely off because I've got a nice wooden fixing there, so I'm going to use that to fix my first post. But now I've got to go along and find where the studs are, because this is the horizontal where I thought I was going to put the roof, but it's too close to the window. So I'm going to come down and I can get fixings in. Yeah, there's one there. So I think they're every 60. And what I'll do, if I can, is drill through and put a bolt all the way through to the other side, and then I can sandwich that together. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So take your finger off it.
Well, I've got it on there, so...
Yeah, but you pull it tight from the edge. So when you take your finger off it, take your finger off it. Right, where is it on that? Is it on it?
Can't see it now.
Go
Yeah.
ping it. Is it on the green?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to ping it. Remember to take off the distance. Ah. Right, I'm going to get a fixing in there and then we can pivot it.
Yeah. Oh shit! Shit! Snapped.
Alright, take two.
Yes.
Julie didn't apply the brake for me, so I got pushed forward. But that actual piece of wood just cracked so easily.
It wasn't a good fit. We
Yeah.
didn't like it in the first place, but
Just cut up my threaded bar, went and priced up some other bolts, and they were like €5-6 each, where the threaded bar was €4 for a metre, so I've just cut it up into 20 centimetre lengths and putting on the nuts and bolts, the nuts and washers that we had when we built the garage. We got bags of them, so try and save as much money as we can.
yeah, it's through.
For the large upright, where I put these screws initially, I'm just going to put 4 or 5 of these larger screws into this. This is the main upright beam, so that should be enough. You can feel the metal behind. Put them at an angle.
This is a treated piece of woodings placed up here, but just to protect it, just to give it a little bit of extra protection, I'm just putting a coat of the coloured varnish on. So if it does rain, it's just got that little bit more protection.